Hello Scorpio, welcome back to my channel Spirit and I Incorporated. It is a pleasure to have you back, and it is a pleasure to be back. Quite briefly, I took a bit of a sabbatical these last few months to hone my astrology skills. I felt it was necessary, though unexpected. I wasn't planning on taking a step back, but I did so, and I'm really glad that I did, because I felt it was necessary to hone my skills in the astrology portion of my forecasts, because I wanted to not only have a better understanding for myself, but to be able to hopefully provide a better understanding for my viewers. And so it's been quite a journey. I also had a tremendous amount of time to reconnect with my creator in helping me understand my spiritual consciousness and elevating that. And that has been a wonderful journey, very healing one at that. And suffice to say, it has, before I knew it, several months went by. So I have returned. I'm looking forward to recommencing the channel. I am proceeding to do that with the August 2023 forecasts. And without further ado, Scorpio, let's get started on the astrological portion. I will then close out the forecast with the oracle cards and pulling a few Rider-Waite tarot cards to clarify. And this will be for the first half of August 2023 for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. And if I may preface once again, for those of you that have returned and or are new viewing my channel, please bear in mind that these are very general forecasts. The details, although energetically, are precise, and as far as the mathematical analysis of the zodiac chart at the current transits at this time, for one's natal chart, it could play out very differently, because everybody's born at different times in different places in different years. So bear that in mind. Please take what resonates, and what doesn't resonate with you, just release it. And it does, don't make it fit. These are just general forecasts and provide a general overview of the energies at play. So let's get started, Scorpio. Again, this is for the sign of Scorpio for the first half of August 2023. And although the full moon has since moved on, the energies are still at play very much until the 16th of this month, even 17th of this month, if not even a few days longer. And the full moon that I'm speaking of was in Aquarius on August 1st at 2:31 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. Please adjust your clocks for the places of which you are listening to these forecasts on the planet. And for you, Scorpio, we had the full moon at 9 degrees, which is right in this area here. Let me pull this down a little bit. I apologize, I don't have a stand for my iPad, and the lighting is not the best, so probably wouldn't be able to see the glyphs any clearer anyway, but I can see them clearly, and so I'm just going to provide you a quick energetic overview of the astrology planets currently in transit and how they may or may not be affecting your sign, generally speaking, Scorpio. So once again, we have the full moon in your fourth house. It landed in your fourth house at 9 degrees, and it's opposite the sun, which fell in your 10th house. Whenever we have a full moon, it's always opposite the sun. And the degree angle, of course, would be the same. And for what I'm feeling, Scorpio, with respect to this would be your fourth house. And the fourth house has to do with your home, your security, your comfort, real estate, like your domestic affairs, your foundations, even ancestry. So with that full moon falling in your fourth house and how it's opposing the sun in your 10th house, and the 10th house has to do with your career. It also has to do with your employer, your social status, your profession, even a life direction, and parents for some. So the energy I'm feeling from this particular transit for you, Scorpio, is that perhaps there will be some changes within the home and or associated with your career. There is an opposition, so perhaps you're conflicted as to how to proceed with perhaps a career change, with how that would reflect to your home, or vice versa. Either way, you are looking to make a change. It's very clear by these energies, and again, these energies, generally will be playing out for the next 2 weeks, probably until the 17th. So that's actually next week, but they have already been occurring. And I want to encourage you, if I may, you have Neptune in your 5th house, which is right next to your 4th house. Here's your 4th and here's your 5th. You have Neptune. Now, Neptune is the planet in its higher octave of greater spiritual understanding and spirituality. In its lower octave, it can be a planet of illusion and delusion. You can't see through the fog. Things are unclear. But you have a beautiful, what's called a sextile, which is a supportive aspect between Neptune in your 5th house, which has to do with creative self-expression, entertainment, hobbies, pleasure, children even. It's the house of joy and romance as well. You have a beautiful support system with this sextile aspect that's connecting with Pluto, which is your traditional ruling planet, Scorpio. Pluto digs up avenues of the soul deep within, avenues that have given us joy, that have given us, concern. And with the supportive sextile from Neptune, which is, again, in its higher octave spiritually, if you lean into your higher spiritual understanding, through whichever form of healing divination you obtain that through, you will be able to feel the joy through the changes that you wish to make within your 4th house, which is the house of the home foundation, as I mentioned, your security, real estate. Perhaps some of you are looking at real estate, and you'll be able to see some clarity and feel some clarity with how to proceed. Now, moving forward, we also have Jupiter here in your 7th house, right here. And the 7th house has to do with partnerships, particularly bonded partnerships like marriage, business contracts. It also has to do with opponents, like known opponents. One-to-one relationships is what this house represents, in as far as the elements that play out for the act that's on the stage. And for those of you that aren't familiar with basic astrology, we have in this astrological wheel 12 houses, and each house is represented by a zodiac sign. And oftentimes there will be houses that don't have planets in them in your natal chart, and other houses will have what's called a stellium, which is a conglomerate of planets, typically 3 to 4 in one area. So being that this is a general forecast, and the current transits that play for this full moon in Aquarius that we just had on August 1st and are still very active, we are looking at the benefic planet of Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. And here it's falling in your 7th house. And as I mentioned, it has to do with relationships, marital, business contracts, opponents, even has to do with business opportunities as well. And Jupiter, everything that Jupiter touches, because it's the largest planet that moves through the solar system and moves very slowly because it's a large gas planet, it has what's called a supporting trine, which is literally a triangle, from your 7th house of bonded relationships, marriage or otherwise, to your 11th house, which has to do with groups and organizations, friends, associates, expectations, contracts, as well as money. The 11th house is also known as a house of money. And you have Mars, your modern ruler, sitting in this area, Scorpio. So what I'm feeling is between Jupiter in the 7th house of your bonded relationships, marital and or business, being supportively trined, this beautiful harmonious trine to Mars, which is in its higher octave, faith-driven action in your 11th house. It could be that you will be having some support from either your bonded relationships and or business associates, or you're looking at new business associates to take faith-driven action into a new position for yourself. Perhaps there's a new career in the offing that you're looking at as well. And it's really important with the planet of communication also here in your 11th house of, friends and associates, as well as groups and organizations and acquaintances and even contracts and money. It's important to keep your communications soft, coming from a heartfelt, authentic place, because you do have an opposition between Mercury and Saturn, which is sitting in your 5th house of romance and joy and entertainment. And it's retrograde, and Saturn is also a very large planet that moves through the solar system slowly, but it's the planet of restriction. So you might be feeling restricted in your communications as to the desires you wish to play out with respect to a career change perhaps, and who is of assistance and who isn't in your marital as well as business contracts, and how that affects your 4th house, where the full moon is sitting, of your foundation, your home, your security. But if I may suggest, lean into that higher understanding of Jupiter, which is, Jupiter is known to be in its higher octave one of the most spiritual planets that travel through the cosmos. And it does have that beautiful harmonious trine to Mars, which is faith-driven action in its higher octave. So my suggestion would be, if I may, is to lean into soft communications, because you have that opposition, of Mercury, the planet of communication, in your 11th house of associates and contacts, being restricted by Saturn. And Saturn, has those rings. Saturn is the planet of discipline and focus and restriction, but used positively and consistently, it's also considered the planet of reward. So you want to use any communications that you're engaging with, and the energy behind those communications, keep them soft, because additionally here in your 7th house, where Jupiter sits with that beautiful harmonious trine to Mars to take faith-driven action, we also have it squaring the Sun in your 10th house of career, and squares are very, very challenging. Additionally, we have Uranus, the planet of surprise and disruption and unexpected life-changing events, which can be beautiful, but they can also be extremely uncomfortable. And they come out, these surprises come out of nowhere. They are life-changing. That's what Uranus does, as Uranus is the planet of the universe. It has a hard 90-degree angle with that Sun in your 10th house of career. And this is why, once again, I'm encouraging you to keep any communications coming from a higher level of communication, softer, coming from the heart, whether it's in your home or whether it's in your career or both. Keep your communications clear, concise, but coming from a soft energy exchange, because anything less than that can truly create volatility. And being that Uranus is a life-changing planet, I would like to encourage you to not engage in any sort of, exchanges of energy in your communications, hidden or otherwise. in a heavy manner, because that could really be volatile. And the energies for this particular volatility and harmony, if you're coming from a place of higher spiritual understanding where you can soften your communications and open your understanding, not only within yourself but towards others, these energies will be playing out from the 12th through the 16th of this month in particular. So I am recording this on the as a matter of fact, I am recording this forecast on the 12th. So these energies are very strong between today and the 16th, which is this coming Wednesday, even into Thursday, the 17th. So, and the 17th is when we have, depending on where you are in the world, and the 16th here in North America, we have the new moon in Leo, and that will be for the updated forecast, which I will be recording so that that's out on time as well here this week. But if I may, once again, just encourage you to keep your communications soft, coming from the heart, opening the mind, opening the heart, so that the harmonious trine, which you are being very supported by Jupiter, and Jupiter expands everything, which is, you know, why you want to keep your communications clear and soft and coming from a positive place, because it expands that energy that you project, not only with what you're saying, but the energy behind it. So keep it positive and keep it coming from a heartfelt place. Come from the heart. That's really, really important message at this particular time and through this particular transit. Additionally, because Mars, you know, is also in your 11th house of acquaintances and friends and organizations and groups where you could be very much supported with that trine, you know, it's also in its lower octave considered the planet of war. So once again, you know, you want to keep your energies positive with anything to do with the home, career changes, real estate, security, your ideas of what that all means in your relationship to them, and coming particularly through an energy of open-mindedness and love through your communications, so that you are positively supported with this energy from Jupiter to Mars in that harmonious trine. Really, really important energies that are playing out at this time. And you know, stay away from anything volatile would be my suggestion. If you possibly can, you know, if you feel agitated or you feel an energy that's agitated even coming at you, step away, because you do not want to engage in that energy. So keep it uplifted, keep it open-minded, open your heart, speak from a soft and concise, clear fashion, and that provides others with the opportunity to return that harmonious exchange back to you. So I just wanted to give you again a brief and general synopsis of the energies, Scorpio, that are at play here from this full moon in Aquarius as of August 1st. As I mentioned earlier, these energies will continue through the 16th and the 17th of this month. I will be providing a mid-month update with that new moon in Leo that's commencing on the 16th here in North America, and the 17th probably in other parts of the world. But these are the energies at play at this time. So once again, a general overview of the current transits. Now let's take a look at your oracle cards for the first half of August 2023. Again, this is for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. Thank you once again. As I shuffle, I'm going to take the opportunity to thank each of you again for tuning in. For those of you that are enjoying these forecasts, and if you would be so kind, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It does help the videos to circulate and to reach others that are perhaps looking for forecasts of which I provide. I read astrology and oracle and tarot intuitively through a spiritual lens. So it is my hope that even if there's just one message, it will be of help to somebody. And by, you know, engaging with my channel, it does help the videos to circulate and reach others, and I would deeply appreciate it as well, because it helps the channel to grow. So without further ado, and thanking you all in advance, pleasure to be back, as I mentioned earlier. And let's take a look, Scorpio, at your oracle energies for your most recent past energies, current energies, and forthcoming. And then we'll get some clarity, through the tarot. And we'll close out the forecast for the first half of August 2023. Pardon me. You're right. Whenever I forecast, I get an itchy nose. It's the energies. Apologize. All right. Without further ado, let's take a look, Scorpio. For Scorpio, first half of August 2023. First card out, Scorpio. We have the Fox Spirit. Isn't he beautiful? The Fox Spirit speaks of they're very quick. Foxes are very, very quick. We have the numerical number of 27 on this oracle card, which reduces to a 9. The ninth house, excuse me, is represented through this card. Ninth house has to do with long distance travel. Perhaps some of you are being prepared to take a bit of a trip here in the not too distant future. It also speaks of publishing and marketing, higher spiritual learning. That's all ninth house energies. And the fox here speaks of thinking quick on your feet. Now, this is what it looks like in the upright. It did come up in the reverse, and this energy is the first card out is considered for your most recent past energies. So the recent past could be anywhere from 2 days ago to 6 years ago. Whatever the recent past means to each of you individually will be very different, but the energy plays out the same. And so for some of you, you've had to think quickly on your feet, and perhaps how one can do a pivot when one has to make a quick decision, and they pivot on their one foot and they turn around. That's what this energy speaks of. So perhaps some of you felt it necessary to do that in your most recent past energies, of whatever that means to you. All right. Let's take a look at your current energies, Scorpio. We have the Eagle Spirit. This is what it looks like in the upright. Now, the numerical number on this oracle card is 23, which reduces to a 5, and 5 in the science of numerology is indicative of change. It represents change. So this could very well be in your current energies, Scorpio, for those of you that are resonating with this forecast. Could be that some of you are looking at changes, as I mentioned in the aforementioned, with the astrology transits. In the current chart for the full moon that we just had on the 1st of August in Aquarius at 9 degrees, some of you are looking to make changes within the home, within your career, possibly both. And in your recent past, it's been difficult to think quick on your feet of how to do that, but it appears to be that you are moving forward with that in some capacity. Now, bear in mind, energies can play out for 6 weeks. When one is forecasting. So, this won't necessarily happen this week, but it could for some of you. For some of you, it already has happened. For others of you, it will still play out as the weeks unfold. But the energy is concise and clear that, you're looking to make a change. And according to this oracle energy, Spirit has your back, which means if you continue to tap into your higher knowing, your form of divination that is healing and uplifting to you, and that provides your inner voice with clarity, that's God speaking to you. God has your back, whatever that means. So that came out in the upright. Forthcoming energy, Scorpio, we have the Owl Spirit. And what a beautiful energy to come out with these current energies of, God having your back. The Owl Spirit speaks of you can see clearly now, which is that Neptune that we mentioned in your 5th house, with that beautiful sextile to Pluto, your traditional ruling planet that goes to the depths of your soul and brings up that which requires to be looked at, releases what no longer serves, and utilizes what is of help. That's this energy. And we also have the numerical number of 43, which in the science of numerology and spirituality is reduces to a 7, and 7 is the spiritual number of divinity. And it speaks of, you can see clearly now. So some of you Scorpions, and hopefully many of you, can see very clearly now where you're going. And you're feeling very strong and supported. You're wearing the crown of regality here, the very regal crown. You have the light and the energy force of God behind you with this golden light. And you are ready for takeoff. You're very perched and ready for takeoff. Beautiful energies, Scorpio. Let's get some clarification through the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Again, this is for Scorpio for the first half of August 2023. These are really nice energies, Scorpio. We've all been going through challenging times, but it's really, how we navigate through those challenging times that makes or breaks us. And if I may suggest, one of the best ways, if not the best way to navigate through challenging energies is to always turn to our source of divinity. Whatever we feel is our source of divinity that's uplifting and healthy, if we lean into that, we can navigate in a healthy way as opposed to making, challenges more difficult than they need to be. So it appears as though many of you Scorpions are doing this, and there is healing because of it. And when you are feeling, healed within, it helps others to heal as well. And the exchange of energies between others, whether this is personally or professionally or both, for any of us is a lot easier. So very, very important, if I may, to remind each of you, and as I'm doing for all of the zodiacs, especially this week, because this week can be a very volatile week if we don't use the energies wisely, and life-changing at that. So please bear this in mind and keep your heart open and keep those communications flowing in a loving and open-minded fashion. All right. That being said, let's get some clarity for the fox spirit in your most recent past energies, Scorpio, where you were needing to think on your feet, and perhaps it was a little bit challenging to do so with that energy in the reverse. First card out, we have the Hermit. Beautiful. Now the Hermit is, a symbolic energy of taking some time out to meditate. It did come out in the upright, so perhaps many of you Scorpions have been taking that time to meditate. The lantern is lighting your way forward as you've had to, perhaps some challenging times thinking on your feet to make that pivot. But for some of you, perhaps, hopefully many of you, you were able to do so. And you've taken the light of God or the lantern of God, and it's guiding your path. It's guiding your way forward as you've taken time to rest and reflect and meditate on how you wish to proceed with the arenas in your life that we spoke of earlier in the astrology forecast. Clarifying the Hermit. Beautiful. We have the Nine of Cups in the upright, and the Nine of Cups is traditionally understood in the tarot as one's wishes being fulfilled. This is positively supporting anything that you've been navigating through in the current or in the recent past energies and how they are affecting your present energies, Scorpio. Even if there were challenging times, you've been coming through that because many of you, according to these energies in the oracle and the tarot, you have been connecting with your higher source of spirituality, which is allowing the desires of your heart to unfold. Once again, we have the Roman numeral number 9, indicative of the Nine of Cups, the 9 wishes being fulfilled, 9th house energies, long distance travel, publishing, marketing, higher spiritual learning, philosophy, beautiful energies supporting you in your recent past and moving into the present, where we have the eagle spirit as you continue to navigate through the changes as indicated by the number 5, and knowing that God has your back. The universe is watching over you. And eagles, as noted in scripture as well, you know, we are supposed to soar like the eagle. You know, God said, soar like the eagle. And seek ye first the kingdom, and all these other things shall come unto you. This is very, very important to bear this in mind. And that's just what came through to me intuitively to express to you from scripture. Because the eagles represent what God spoke of, that we're supposed to soar like eagles. Rise to our highest self and soar like eagles, which is what you're doing. And here we have the Four of Swords. It came up in the, this is what it looks like in the upright. The Four of Swords in the upright would speak of taking some time out to rest and meditate. I believe many of you have already done that and continue to do that. Some of you now are moving out of that, as would be indicated by this energy in the reverse, because you're soaring. You're taking flight. You're taking flight in some capacity, whether it's a change of career, a change within the home and how that would affect the career, a change in the career and how that would affect the home. It could play out in both arenas, and how that's all associated with your relationship with yourself and with others, including your marital relationship within the home. So very, very clear and strong energies here. Next we have, to clarify that Four of Swords, and just bear in mind again that the Four of Swords is mental energy. The swords are indicative of the air element, and air represents Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius zodiac signs. So perhaps some of you have those placements within your natal birth chart. But these swords are symbolic of what goes up on inside of our mind. And with it having come up in the reverse, you know, some of you are coming out of that meditative form and taking flight, as the eagle spirit speaks of. And some of you perhaps are in the energies of not connecting enough with your spiritual self, and there's a need to do so, as this energy in the reverse would also indicate. It's important to really stay focused on your spiritual guidance to help you navigate through any energies of change that you are proceeding through. And in so doing, you pull the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups has to do with options. Each one of these cups holds an energy for you to choose from. You have the cup of you know, the castle here, perhaps some of you a new home. You have the cup with a mask in it. Somebody is hiding information. You know, you want to be very discerning on which cups you choose, because the cups that you choose, the choices that you make, and of which you have 7 options here, you know, symbolically speaking, in the energy of this card, you have several options, and you want to choose wisely. You want to be discerning on which options you choose, because you don't want to choose an option that may not be of service to you as you move forward. This is why, once again, it's very, very important to connect with your spiritual self so that you choose wisely. So be discerning and continue to come from a place of peace, Scorpio. Not war, peace. For whatever is presented at you, know, presented at you or for you, with these, you know, general present energies having to do, once again, with the home or with career change, people, even associations. The 7th house is also, you know, can be symbolic of open enemies. You know, people that just, you know, it wouldn't matter. You could bend over backwards for them and they still wouldn't approve. And you're not going to please everybody. Not everybody's going to like you. You know, we all go through that. Even I go through that. Everybody goes through that. The purpose is not for us to be liked by everybody. The purpose of our life is to connect with our highest self, live from a place of service that's positive and healthy and supportive, not only of oneself but others, and to put our Creator first, because our Creator, who created us to be the masterpieces of our life that we're supposed to be, gives us the power to be the leading actors in our life and to to reduce ourselves to lower energies when, especially when it's unnecessary, is just a disservice. It's just a disservice to ourselves, and it's a disservice to others. And so perhaps, Scorpio, you're really looking to, that now that you're seeing clearly, you're looking to realign yourself with something, perhaps a career change. And for some of you, it could be a change within the home as well. However it's resonating for you, if it's resonating at all, you want to be better aligned with it. And this is what you Scorpios are seeking. You wish to be authentically aligned with that which you desire, that which uplifts you, that which allows you to soar like the eagle through any changes you wish to make. And when you are discerning in your choices to obtain that through taking the time to meditate and pray, you will be able to see clearly, as this oracle energy indicates. And you have the divine watching over you. The 43 reduces to a 7, and this is the number of divinity, as I mentioned. Now clarifying the owl spirit of where you're seeing clearly, we have the 7 of Wands. And the 7 of Wands came up in the reverse, and I see this actually as very positive. If it were in the upright, I'd say that you were looking to go into battle. But from what I'm gathering from the energies, and I'm feeling, intuitively, many of you are choosing not to battle because you know that that's just a waste of your energy, when you can be using that energy to create positive changes in your life, whatever that means to you, personally, professionally, or both. So you are laying down the battle, you're laying down the wands. Wands are indicative of the, of the elements of fire, and the fire element rules Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Perhaps some of you have those placements in your natal birth chart. Others of you, either way, are just choosing to lay down the battle. You do not wish to go into battle with anybody because you're aware. Been there, done that doesn't work. And it's exhausting, and it wastes positive energy in the arenas of where you can be creative to create the new that you desire. So that's beautiful energy to see. Clarifying the 7 of Wands, we have the Sun. And this is what the Sun looks like in the upright. It did come up in the reverse. And the Sun, as I intuitively read, either in the upright or in the reverse, expresses the same energy. The Sun is God. It's the life-giving force. And the way I'm perceiving this intuitively is that because you've chosen to lay down the battle, you do not wish to engage in anything that is disruptive, because you know that that will take your life force away, your energy away. You are choosing not to engage. You want to maintain the energy of the life force, which is God. You want to stay connected with God, your creator, your source of divination, of whatever name you wish to term it. As long as it's healthy and uplifting and it works for you, that's what you want to stay connected with. And you understand that if you engage in battle, it will be difficult to maintain this, because your energy will be expanded in a unhealthy fashion. Now I'm going to pull another card to clarify the Sun. Beautiful. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Here's your Jupiterian energy. This is Jupiter, the planet of Jupiter. The Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune goes round and round, eliminates here what no longer serves, hangs on to the rest, and celebrates a new beginning. And you're sitting on top of the world, Scorpio. You are sitting on top of the world. And why? Because you are choosing to preserve your life force energy by not engaging in any battle, as you see very clearly of what you need to do to move forward with your divine source of guidance, to bring into realization what you wish to manifest in the 3D realm for yourself, and how you're creating that through your spiritual understanding and your spiritual counsel. That's the Wheel of Fortune. This is Jupiter expanding everything that's good in your life. And I'm going to leave it right there, Scorpio, because I could not expand on this any better than what this final card just depicted. This is a beautiful energy. Stay within your heartfelt, energetic, loving space and communicate from that energy, and that which you desire personally and or professionally or both will have you sitting on the top in the very near offing where you're celebrating and looking across the world as you're able to do now, because you can see clearly, very, very clearly, of which way you're moving forward, and doing so with the support of the universe. Jupiter in its highest octave is the highest planet of spirituality. So don't forget that. Stay in your peace and move forward in a conscientious manner, and you'll be just fine, Scorpio. Love and light from Spirit and eyeinc. Thank you again for engaging with my channel. Looking forward to being back here mid-month. Stay tuned. Signing off for now.